Hey, you who's watching this, I know your days aren't always easy. Sometimes you fall, sometimes you feel alone, and sometimes it feels like the world doesn't understand what you're fighting for. But listen closely. Today's wounds, they can become your strength tomorrow. Your failures? They're not the end of the story, but the beginning of something amazing. You don't have to be perfect to be valuable. Your silence isn't weakness, it's a sign of your strength. Everything takes time, so don't compare your steps with someone else's. It's okay to be scared. What matters is you keep moving forward. Because you are much stronger than you think, and you're not alone on this path. Come on, rise again. The world needs your light. Don't give up today. Tomorrow might be your turning point. Today might feel heavy. You're tired, disappointed, maybe ready to quit. But remember one thing. Strong trees grow from the harshest storms. Every great person you admire once stood where you are, alone, defeated, ready to give up. They made it through, not because they were stronger, but because they chose not to stop. So, take a breath. Rest if you need to, but never give up. Because maybe tomorrow is the day everything changes. Today's wounds could be tomorrow's strength. Every wound leaves a scar, but that scar isn't something to regret. It's a reminder you survived. The pain may still linger. The tears may not have dried. But behind it all, a stronger version of you is growing. A wiser version. Don't hide your wounds. Let them be proof that you fell, but didn't stay down. And someday, when you look back, you'll smile and say, "Thank you, hard times. Without you, I wouldn't be this strong." It's not the result, but the process that shapes you. Everyone wants success, quick results, instant change. But life doesn't work that way. It's not the end result that makes you strong, but the long process you go through. When you fail but rise again, when you doubt but still move forward, those are the moments that shape your soul. True success isn't about how fast you get there, but who you become through it all. So, don't rush. Don't envy others' outcomes. Focus on your step today. Because every small step you take is proof you're changing, becoming better, tougher, and more ready to receive what you dream of. You are not alone, even when the world feels empty. Some days, you feel empty. Everyone seems busy, yet no one truly sees you. But hear this, you are not alone. Every heart has its wounds. Every soul fights its own battle. You just can't see it. God knows what you're feeling. He knows you're trying, and He will never leave you. Maybe you don't see the answer yet, but trust this. Your prayers are never wasted. Keep walking, even slowly. Keep praying, even silently. Because behind the silence, hope is quietly growing. Failure is not the end. It's the start of your great story. Failure hurts. Dreams unfulfilled. Efforts wasted. Hopes shattered. But think about it. How many great people failed? Edison failed thousands of times before the light bulb. Colonel Sanders got rejected over 1,000 times before KFC. They didn't stop. They used failure as fuel to move forward. Failure doesn't mean you're weak. It means you were brave enough to try. And that's worth more than doing nothing. Never underestimate the power of one step after failure. Because that might be the very step that leads you to success. So rise again. Your story isn't over, and a beautiful ending is still waiting for you. You don't have to be perfect to matter. In a world obsessed with perfection, we often forget this. To matter, you don't have to be perfect. You don't always have to be strong. You don't always have to be right. You don't always have to smile. Sometimes just holding on is already amazing. Your worth isn't defined by achievements others can see, but by your courage to keep being yourself. You're learning, you're growing, and that matters more than looking perfect. So stop comparing. Stop beating yourself up over standards that aren't yours. Because the world needs your real self, not a fake one just to fit in. You are enough. You are valuable, just as you are. Everything has its time. Don't force what's not ready. You've tried. You've prayed. You've waited patiently. But still nothing? Why does the road feel so slow? Maybe it's not time yet. Even flowers bloom in their season. The sun rises at the right moment, and so will your life. It's not that you're unworthy, but the universe is still preparing you, strengthening your heart, maturing your soul. Trust this. What comes too early may not be yours to handle, but what arrives in perfect timing will feel like the most beautiful answer. So stay calm. Keep walking. Keep believing, because God's timing is always the best. Be brave enough to take a step, even if you're afraid. Fear is normal. Fear of failing, fear of rejection, fear of the wrong path. But listen, being brave doesn't mean being fearless. It means moving forward, even when your heart is trembling. Every great achievement started with one small step taken in doubt. You don't need full confidence. Just believe one thing. If you don't step today, tomorrow you'll still be in the same place. It's better to fail trying than regret never trying. Fear doesn't fade by standing still. It shrinks each time you move. So today, take one step, no matter how small, because that might be the beginning of your new courage. Silence doesn't mean weak. Sometimes it means strong. You're silent, not because you don't care, not because you're weak. You're silent because you choose peace over pointless conflict. You're silent because you know not everything needs a reply, not everything deserves an explanation. That's not weakness, that's strength. The strength to hold yourself back when your heart wants to explode. The world is too loud. Sometimes the wisest ones are those who know when to speak and when to be silent. Don't let others think you're weak because you're calm. Because calmness is owned by hearts that are strong and mature. So stay calm, stay grounded. Prove your strength not by shouting, but by standing firm without revenge. You're still here, and that's already amazing. Sometimes we're too focused on chasing that we forget to appreciate one thing. We're still here, still waking up, still trying, still breathing, even when it's hard. That's not small. That's proof that you're strong, stronger than you think. You almost gave up. You felt lost. But guess what? You kept going. Maybe you're not at your goal yet. But look, you're not at the starting line either. Don't belittle your strength just because you haven't won. Because sometimes surviving is already a victory. Today, give yourself a round of applause. Even if the world doesn't see it, you're fighting. And that's incredible. Every wound, every failure, every small step you take today, they are shaping you into someone stronger. Don't rush. You don't need to have all the answers right now. What matters is that you keep moving, keep believing, even when you're scared. Remember, you're not alone. And life hasn't finished writing its beautiful story about you. So take a deep breath, be still, and believe this. You matter, you are worthy, and you still have time to shine. Don't give up, your journey is just beginning.